So my number two film is Pitch Perfect from 2012, directed by Jason Moore, starring Anna Kendrick, Rebel Wilson, Brittany Snow, Anna Camp. The IMDb plot summary: Becca, a freshman at Barden University, is cajoled into joining the Bellas, her school's all-girls singing group, injecting some much-needed energy into their repertoire. The Bellas take on their male rivals in a campus competition. So for me, and why I put this on the list, I mean, this really captures for me my very much close to my experiences in leaving home, which was going off to college. I'm not only leaving, this is less about leaving like your parents and more about going off to a place where you, like Becca, she had no friends, she didn't know anyone, she started off in a totally new situation, and how you are able to get over your feelings of homesickness and these feelings of how to deal with leaving home through the people that you meet. And it's the friends that you meet in these new places, because you're forced to have new friends, which I was when I went off to college too, helps share and meeting people that share in your passions and helping you deal with what it's like to be this new version of yourself now that you've left home. So, like I said, I really identify with the character Becca in this film. I also, in my freshman year, first semester, joined a singing a cappella group as well,
Right.
because I, felt the need to be meeting people. I didn't know anyone at all in the state of California or in my college or in Los Angeles when I moved here. So it's that very isolated feeling where you do feel kind of very alone sometimes. Like there's many scenes where Becca's just in her room doing her own thing because she's kind of hesitant to kind of find her new circle, if you will. And I think that circle too, as she joins this singing group, these are different people than she would have met back where she was growing up. These are not her typical type of girl. I think they're all very different, but she really does. She comes in as kind of the outsider, which is something I definitely felt too. And that a lot of the friends I was meeting, it's like you're exposed to new people, new experiences, and that is what really helps you deal with how you are now no longer in a comfort zone. And a lot of leaving home to me is about leaving this comfort zone, going off and doing something different. She stretches herself and finds new talents. She was not necessarily a singer. She was interested in music, but she wasn't really a singer. At least the movie doesn't say she was before she joins this a cappella group. So it's like you do discover a lot of new things about yourself and new passions in terms of the people that you meet, which is definitely something I was experiencing a lot with my my new friends and new experiences and being in a totally new place where I don't have nothing to fall back on, which she definitely didn't either. And I think, it is about the friends and the people that you meet in these new areas really are things you would not have experienced when leaving home. So for me, I think that's why this movie is so important to me, not only because my path kind of mirrored a little bit of what Becca was doing, but I do think that's the people that you meet when you are in these new places really helps you not only get adjusted to that feeling of leaving home, but people that you never would have met if you didn't leave home, and how important it really is to leave home. She found lifelong friends in this Barden Bella's singing group, and a lot of my friends that I still am really close to right now were friends that I met in college that, if I had stayed back in my hometown to go to school, I would have been hanging out with a lot of my high school friends because a lot of them stayed in Boston. And I wouldn't have stretched myself and got out there and just met new people, which I think is a very important part of leaving home. Plus I just love this movie. As listeners, I already put another Pitch Perfect film on a previous episode. Maybe the third one will come up in a subsequent episode. But yeah, this film I watch all the time. It's one of my favorite films, and it really, every time I see it, just transports me back to those, especially those first couple months in leaving home, being off at school, and just being alone, but forcing yourself to find other people. And the music's great. I love the singing in it too. But that's why I put this on my list.
Awesome. No, I love this movie too. I think I shit on the sequel that you put on your previous list quite hard. But this one, I was in love with this movie from the moment I saw it. It's been on my repeat viewing. I've seen it several times, and it's funny. I actually didn't see this as like a leaving home movie until you pointed it out. But you're absolutely right. That whole first half of the movie when she's just in a room, all that resonates a lot with me too, especially when I came to grad school. I literally didn't know anybody else. And I don't know, it's like this weird thing of you're uncomfortable, scared, but you're also trying to protect yourself, but you're
Exactly.
also coming back to what you know and what you're comfortable with. So you sort of are in your bubble, but that bubble is being challenged, every now and then. And that can be a pretty, tense experience. And I think the movie really captures that. And I think Anna Kendrick is so good. Everybody's great in this movie, but she
Yeah,
really
yeah.
captures that. Like this could have been played in a way that felt, I don't know, very cookie cutter or a caricature, but I think you really see the struggle of this person. And she's not just, walking around with like a kind of a dark cloud over her head just for
Mm-hmm.
the heck of it. Like you feel why. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that is so important. Otherwise, the movie would be too silly, too saccharine. You need that sort of dark energy to balance the rest of the movie out. So yeah, I love this movie. The music is great. Once again, you're reminded when and if music is used in the right way, how powerful it can be.
Oh,
I
for sure.
tear up every single time when she sings the Breakfast Club song
Oh,
in the
yeah.
end.
Yeah, me too. That's a
Every
great
single
moment.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just so good. And all the songs and all the montages of music are used so purposefully to kind of show her growth, but also the growth of the friendship and the relationships that she's building through these different acts that are happening, how they are learning to be with each other, how they're trying to perfect the art of,
Mm-hmm.
the whole competition. So, yeah, it's just on the surface can come off as like a simple story, but I think it's done pretty deftly. So yeah, I love this movie, and some great lines all across the board. Let's be honest, is one of my favorites. I think of that often.
Yeah, yeah, but you're totally right in that this Becca character could very easily have been very two-dimensional. Like, oh, she's the
Yeah,
the weird like artsy kid who then becomes the
yeah, and we've
singing
seen many of
girl.
those.
Exactly, but no, she stays who true to who she is, but she just expands who she is. And also, in the film, she comes in not really wanting to stay in this college. She kind of wants to go transfer to focus on her music
Yeah,
producing. She's like, I'm not really going to be here. Whatever. This is just kind of I want to leave to go to I think to New York to go to school. But at the end of the movie, she stays, and it's because of the people that she met. She realizes, no, I can stretch and be who I want to be here because of the people that I can meet. I create my own kind of world there too. But yeah, it's again, this whole franchise is very near and dear to me, but this one I think is much more about leaving home, whereas each one of these films I think touches on a different theme in the Pitch Perfect
yeah,
universe. But yeah, it's always fun to rewatch.
I couldn't agree more.
Hey there, it's Alex. If you like the review and discussion Karan and I just had, make sure you subscribe to our channel, Movies That Shaped Us, to get full episodes. Every other Wednesday, Karan and I cover a topic around important people, places, events, and moments in our lives, and then explore it through 3 of our favorite movies. Subscribe right now, or follow our podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts via the link in the description below. Hope you join us for the journey.